So, let's go on to...
Oh, yeah. So
more trusting technology.
Tech/science news. This week, you might have seen a little bit about Facebook in the news and a company called Cambridge Analytica, which is like a political company that helps run campaigns for whoever's paying them at the time.
Putin.
Yeah. So, for example, Brexit, the Brexit campaign, they were on the side of the Leave. And also during the Trump presidential campaign. So the reason it's in the news this week is because a former employee called Chris Wiley came forward basically as a whistleblower saying, we have like 50 million people's data that we got from Facebook, and we use that data to manipulate and target ads to change people's behavior and basically sway the 2016 election in Donald Trump's favor, the Brexit vote in the favor of Leave, and stuff like that. So,
which is huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, it is huge. I'm sure there's other companies that do the same thing. Like the Democratic and Republican parties in America would try and do this. They'll do surveys. They'll try and gather information from people. They'll do focus groups and all this stuff to try and understand what voters want. Which in a democracy is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like you got to know what people want in order to represent them. That's the fundamental idea.
That's the idea
of a democracy. But the disturbing thing is the role that Cambridge Analytica had in targeting fake advertising at particular people to whom it would be who would be susceptible to.
What is fake advertising? Fake news?
Yeah, so stuff like Crooked Hillary did this, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the actual Trump campaign would have been under, like, there's a lot of rules for the actual campaign of a candidate that they, like, limits on how much they can raise, limits on what they can and cannot say. Like, they can't just straight up lie about the other person, I think. Or at least they're under scrutiny for it.
Surely Trump broke that law a lot.
No, because it's associated groups that are not directly, well, they're not directed by the Trump campaign. They're allowed to do stuff like that. So they're called super PACs and PACs.
Right.
So the claim is that Cambridge Analytica uses all this data that they've collected from people to work out, this is what's going to make these people scared, and target the negative advertising at those people so that it's most effective. So there would have been heaps of voters in states that they needed to win by, like, whatever margin it took, like Pennsylvania or Michigan, where they would have worked out from the Facebook profiles that this person's going to be susceptible to an ad that targets Hillary Clinton based on this or that. So they actually targeted Bernie Sanders fans by targeting ads that said Hillary Clinton ripped off Bernie Sanders, right?
If
smooth.
I think the live stream's cut because it sounds like Joel's playing Fortnite. So when you're listening to this, Joel, get stuffed.
Anyway.
But yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, anyway. So, well, what do you guys reckon? If your Facebook data... So the reason they had this Facebook data is because back in 2014, a Cambridge academic called Alexander Kogan basically wrote an app for Cambridge Analytica to do a personality test. So I guess he was hired by Cambridge Analytica to make this personality test that people would take on Facebook. And basically because of the way the privacy settings were back then, from about 2007 and 2014...
Pretty loose.
It was really loose. And you kind of you didn't have just access to a person who took that campaign, that quiz. You had access to their friends' information as well. So, like, I think 250,000 people took the quiz, but they got 50 million people's worth of data.
Smooth.
Yeah. So, and in the age of big data, you can actually use that stuff really effectively. But, so this week, I think for the first time since it, like, floated, Facebook's share price took a bit of a tumble. I think it was like 4%.
Yeah.
But it was reported as $35 billion. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but it's worth like $400 billion.
That'll be fun.
And it's not actual money, it's just how much people think it's worth. which has no impact on
What?
the running of a company whatsoever.
Oh, God.
I wonder
Well,
what.
once you've raised the money,
Yeah. Okay.
it's meaningless where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone's
Alright.
trying to take over you and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it drops enough that they can buy all of the shares. But
Yeah.
basically, like, Mark Zuckerberg hasn't lost any money.
He'll be
No.
fine.
Yeah, because it'll go up again, and he'll get his money back. So that's like a bit of the news just sort of playing it up a bit. But this is like, I guess it's the first time. So the share price is probably a good measure of what people are thinking, or what people are thinking other people are thinking. So people investing in stock are going, oh, this is going to make people think this, therefore I think this is going to happen to the stock market. So what do you guys say? What do you guys reckon Facebook is valued on most?
How many people are using it?
Yeah, using it. So not just how many people are on it, right?
No. Monthly.
How many people are...
like daily and monthly.
Yeah,
active
hours,
users.
right?
Yeah.
Contact
Yeah.
hours. I think there's a special word for it. I can't remember what it is. But do you think this sort of information would make you want to use Facebook less? And
No.
if not, what is the line?
Yeah.
Because that's what hits Facebook where it hurts, right? If users stop trusting it, or like if something bad enough happens that people actually stop using their Facebook account, that's when you have a problem.
Yeah. I think this happens all the time. You just don't realize. Like all the time there's advertising happening and people not liking the platform, and I see too many ads and this and that. I don't think that this necessarily is the thing.
Well, okay,
That's
so
gonna get them.
the thing that Cambridge Analytica was really good at is targeting. So their idea is data-driven behavior change.
Yeah.
But they're not branded. So it's conveying information to the right people, but without branding it at all. So they're really good at spreading out where all the stuff comes from. So people don't actually know the origin of anything.
Sure.
They'll even share it with each other. They'll see these articles that are written, and they'll share those articles with each other. But so the person who sees the article in the end has no idea where it's come from, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's sort of different from normal advertising. 'Cause
Yeah,
normal
I get it.
advertising, you're giving your brand, right?
Yeah.
Your brand is right next to your message. In this
Yes.
case, the message has to come without a brand. Because if people knew where it was coming from, they might actually engage the critical thinking part of their brain and
Yes.
go, "Oh, well, is that true?" Because you have a motive.
I agree with you. Yeah, like I assume that they're watching everything anyway. Like last night, I watched one episode of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and I log on to YouTube this afternoon.
Wait, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, or isn't it just called Queer Eye?
It's just called Queer Eye, yeah.
Yeah. In Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because
It is-
it's technically a different show.
Okay, you all looked at me like funny, but now you're telling me the name of the show. So.
Well,
I see it on
I've watched
Netflix
the
as
full
always.
season.
It's
so
good, right?
I love
It's
it.
very good.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I've watched the
I'm not judging.
I've watched the whole thing about how the guy from the first episode has been like with the chick,
Oh, yeah.
not with the
Yeah.
chick. It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, it has.
So I watched one episode last night. This afternoon I log on to YouTube. Just YouTube? I watched on my brother's Netflix.
AdWords does the same thing.
And all over my YouTube is Queer Eye things. I'm like, I haven't watched Queer Eye on anything YouTube. I watched this
that's
on my
not-
brother's Netflix.
That's not sinister.
No, it's not sinister, but I assume
is-
that I'm not on Facebook enough to be affected by what I'm seeing. In my opinion, like maybe I am, but
Well, I mean, the whole idea of this is that you affect people without making them think they're being affected.
That's right.
Yeah.
And 100% your phone is listening to you. Even when it's
100%.
Just there.
Yeah.
I've had so many
The-
examples of when I've talked about something, not done anything on my phone with it, and it's advertised that to
Yeah.
me like the next day.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that something like this could happen because the amount of data that Facebook has on every person is like
So there's no
unbelievable.
limit for you guys. The worst things in the world could be happening because
Well,
you're on
I'm
Facebook
just-
and
but
you would
I
not stop
suppose-
using Facebook.
What are the
Okay,
worst
I
things
suppose
in the
I'm a
world?
bit different
Well,
because I also
and
work in the
democracy is
field.
getting undermined to the point that people are hurt for.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but if you know that Facebook is the reason that's happening, wouldn't it make you be like, I'm just going to stop using this. We don't actually need this. I think that's what they're scared of. I feel like it's people
Right.
going, not I'm personally affected by this, but them thinking this is bad for the world.
Protests in the street.
Facebook is like
Or just like, oh, do I need this? Does this contribute to my life in any way?
That's not going to
worth-
happen because we all know we don't need it.
yeah.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't think
Most-
people feel like that though. I don't think you would because you're already not really on it, right? There's people who spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, but if if they're addicted and they love it, but if I turn to them and say, like, do you need Facebook? Do you love Facebook? Nah, just like scrolling, just like looking at memes.
Yeah,
but they're not like, I love
so
Facebook.
So
Facebook.
you reckon they've got us trapped? It won't matter what happens.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So the stock market's pricing in the risk that something will change.
Yeah, I think they're just gut reaction.
I think that the history of Facebook has been that they don't change for anyone. Okay, but obviously since they are now on the stock market, they do need to listen to, what's happening there. But like they made a huge change only just like a month ago, because people hate seeing ads in their newsfeed, and pages and things like that. So they made a huge change, which is something that they wouldn't ordinarily do, like because it almost seems like they've gone back to like you're just going to see your friends' conversations. Yeah. So I think like historically they haven't really listened to people. They just do what they want, and they have to make money somehow, which obviously they do that through advertising and that kind of thing. Selling out data. So usually they have tried to keep advertisers happy on the platform, whereas now it's kind of gone back a little bit to the user. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess there has to be a limit. You can't just.
It does, yeah. I mean,
ads.
I don't think I'm a good judge of this because I work in the field, so I actually am aware of how much data Facebook has and how and how that could be used in any way. Like I talk to business owners every day, and they're like, "This seems like stalkerish how much information like it is," and I go, you just have to forget about that and think like a marketer. That's what I literally say to people. Marketers. Yeah,
it's like Jim Carrey said like a month ago, everyone log off Facebook, delete Facebook, sell your Facebook stocks, Facebook's evil. Jim Carrey is ahead of the curve.
We are still streaming. That's good.
Good to know.
So it's still on.
It says it's ended.
It just keeps cutting out. We're technically, if you look in the back end, we're still there.
Anyway.
Well, it's going to be super
that's interesting.
crap upload speed.
Yeah, so that's what's happening with Facebook. Do you want to hear about space stuff?
Spacebook?
Not if you don't want to. We'll be long in the tooth. It's up to you. Do you like it? Do you want it?
I mean, we don't have to.
Alright.
No?
No.
You're the boss here.
Okay. I didn't read the story, so I don't know how interesting it was.
They might do Armageddon and nuke an asteroid.
Something was heading towards Earth
in the year 2135.
I thought you were talking about the satellite one.
No, I've got two. Well, there's the asteroid coming in 2135, so NASA's come up with a plan to nuke it.
I thought it was 2035.
No, 2135. Oh. You've got plenty of time, Ev.
Because I was like, I'm going to prepare for this.
Be dead. But do you want to know the name of their plan? It's Hypervelocity Asteroid Mitigation Mission for Emergency Response.
Hammer.
NASA are the best.
NASA badass. That's something Elon Musk would do.
But I like that someone's thinking about this because you really do need to plan ahead for this kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely. With asteroids.
I mean, that's the story. They're going to nuke it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I found my favourite comment of the week. You guys want to know
what was it?
I do.
It says Facebook knows you're talking about them because your stream keeps cutting out.
That's right. That's right.
That's meta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shivers.
Or Joel's just playing Fortnite. One of the two.
That's more likely that. So how is this? Should we be worried
about the asteroid?
Oh, the asteroid.
Yeah. We personally, probably not.
Right.
It's 2135.
But if you, probably not.
If you care about your grandkids.
Yeah. If you care about your kids who aren't born yet,
start freaking out.
Their kids.
Yeah.
Then it'll be fine.
The hammer will get
it. Yeah, I'm sure they'll nudge it.
Wouldn't we have just different technology in 2135?
Yeah.
Technology that's keeping me alive, so I'm still there.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're all going to get our appendages replaced, right?
Excuse me?
I mean, you've been wanting to get your appendage replaced for a long time.
Guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway, that's that. And there's a satellite coming down in the next, month.
There was 2 satellites.
Why is it coming down?
Because all satellites in low Earth orbit.
What goes up must come down.
They are so low that eventually they slow down because of the little bit of atmosphere that's up there. It's like a few bits of molecules here and there. They still slow it down enough that eventually it comes back down.
So low.
So it's not gonna like plummet to the ground.
It will once it gets into the atmosphere. It'll be like a
burning pile of garbage, right?
Yeah, it will hit the ground. Like I think it's.
Where will it hit the ground though?
We don't know.
Likely in the ocean because most of the Earth is covered in ocean, and likely if it was on the land, it's somewhere in a desert or something where no one is.
Like, why doesn't this happen in a city? I don't understand. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, like
cities are a very small percentage of the Earth's.
Okay, all right.
The stat I read was you're 1,000,000 times more likely to win the Powerball than get hit by this.
No
it's
way.
It's a stat that I wrote down.
Oh.
Were you reading his notes?
No. I just read the story.
Oh.
Yeah.